about this, talking about the fact that, well, we're seeing a reduction in fuel prices, but it's not impacting on the average Ghanaian. Can you technically explain what's happening to us? The fact that, well, when it comes to the OMCs, they're reducing prices. You know, the political parties, especially the NDCs, happy about the results we're getting on the fuel prices. And yet, when it comes to the average customer, someone who wants to pick up a trotro, I mean, they're having a challenge. Technically, what's happening from your point of view?
Well, good morning, and good morning to your studio. Interesting discussions in there. And I do side with the last gentleman when he says some of the things that Ghanaians are also hoping to see some reprieve or some bit of relaxation as far as pricing is concerned. We're not seeing it. That is the reality. That, however, will not take away the fact that as of today, Ghanaians are paying about 40% less what they paid year on year. If you just compare for January 2025 and January 2026. And so the drop would seem significant. But as to whether it will cascade into the general economic well-being of Ghanaians, I do think that it is simply to do with the intention of Ghanaian businesses to still retain profits, even when the indicators on the wall point to a downward spiral. Unfortunately, I would disagree with the same last gentleman on the GPRTU move.
Yeah.
We don't have any sort of enforcement to protect the average Ghanaian from a systemic rip-off. And so things just happen anyhow. You walk onto some of the shops that you would expect to have gone down on prices due largely to the fact that the city is doing well now, and their prices are still steep. At the end of the day, it is not only the petroleum market that is benefiting from the city's good run of form. It's not only the petroleum market. Any other importation space in country should have reflected at this point by some 30 or 40% reduction in year-on-year prices. But unfortunately, there will be shops you enter and prices have rather gone up. There will be services that you would, subscribe to, and instead of getting a downward spiral with pricing, you are rather getting, an upward adjustment. That would have to be looked at. If you probably are looking at the general economic well-being of Ghanaians, the petroleum space has done its bit. Unfortunately, due to lack of empathy for one another, due to lack of certain enforcement, you have a situation where people will still take advantage of the situation. I have had some initial conversation with the GPRTU asking that they try to reduce transport fares for Ghanaians because at the same time, if fuel prices had gone up, we would have had them coming to us to say, look, we need to go out because we cannot sustain our operations.
Yeah.
When it's gone down, then there's a bit of feet dragging. You cannot blame them, especially when the cost of lubricants, one of the things Guta has been cautioning us about is that the cost of lubricant, the other petroleum-based products that they use in servicing their cars, is still very high. In some instances, it's rather gone up when it should have come down. And so when they go for servicing and what they were paying probably 150 or 500 for, they pay 600, 700. They still feel as though there's some hardship, in the system, and they would need to be able to recover. So generally, things have not been aligned.
Yeah.
Although fuel indeed has gone down and Ghanaians are saving almost 40%, year-on-year pricing, general or average prices of goods and services within the country have rather gone up.
Okay, so this is what I want us to do.
I think that it should be so.
Yeah, I want us to look at the bigger picture now. What's happening to the pricing? Has it got anything to do with government policy from the standpoint of your CSO? And how long would that travel for? Are we to see the 9.99, or is it likely to go up? What's the projection? And would you attribute all of this to government policy?
Indeed, you cannot take the actions of Samijemfi at Gold Board, and of course the finance minister, the Honorable Kisel Atuforsen, out of all of this. As far as the city's good run of form is concerned, the Bank of Ghana has done an utterly good job, very, very good job. And so if Ghanaians never thought that there will come a time that the city appreciates to the other major trading currencies, we are seeing that now. That you cannot take away from government. And so as far as the government's bit is concerned, the good run of form of the city has contributed to where fuel prices are currently. In terms of taxes, I wish I had given them the same score or high, marks, but you saw the D-levy, as Ghanaians chose to call it, introduced last year, the One Ghana city that was added to the fuel price build-up, which has today taken your total tax threshold to around 4.27 pesos. So taxes, maybe they haven't added much, but they've added something. And so on that score, it's still 50-50. Maybe they could have added more. Maybe they could have taken off something. But as far as the city's performance is concerned, they have an input there on as far as your fuel pricing.
Yeah.
Also hinges on.
Yeah. So how long would this travel for? Yeah. How long would this travel for?
The truth is that I don't know how much more the city can appreciate, but if you read the geopolitical writings on the wall, there's a possibility that gold will continue to surge in prices. And as far as that is concerned, it means that Ghana will be gaining a lot more foreign exchange, and there will be a lot more forex availability for the market, such that the pressures that drive depreciation of the city would not be as rife. But that is as far as the managers of your economy continue to work hard. Again, on the international market space, it doesn't look as good. I was discussing with another person yesterday, and clearly the writings are on the wall that we may be in for some hikes in the coming weeks. What happened between the US and Venezuela technically should have seen fuel prices go up the crude could have gone about 80 or 100. But the global oversupply situation, which was a glut, mitigated that impact. Don't forget, Venezuela is the key supplier to China. Once China doesn't get as much from Venezuela, it will have to go for alternate market, source. That would mean some pressure on supply, because China would need to find its supply from elsewhere. That would mean that demand and supply would have gone, higher. Demand would have gone higher. Supply would have been restrained because the US is now controlling the Venezuelan cargoes.
So that is likely. So that is likely to impact on the prices as we see for today, or as we speak. Just hold on for us, Duncan. I want to bring in Dr. Solomon Owusu. Fortunately, he's been a former deputy finance minister as well, so he understands the nuances of this. You take kudos to Atuforsen, isn't it, for the intervention? It's working, isn't it, for you, Doc?
Sorry, before then, my regards to our viewers and listeners this very morning, and thank you for this opportunity. I think when we are discussing issues of national concern or tenacity, we need to be very careful as a country and try to change a bit. We seem to be dealing with the cliche, and it hasn't worked for us, that we always want to, just as one of the, I'm surprised, the young guys, almost everything each of them said was very important. And I think they've done very well. But you and I know that what they said, we've been saying this for almost 40 years. Long-term solutions, impact on us, stop doing politics, NPP time is NPP, NDC time. Has it worked for us as a country? Has it? If we really want to praise Dr. Atuforsi, my greetings to him, and Sami Jemfi, they are all my brothers. We are together. It doesn't matter our political differences. We should be, as a country, be able to do proper analysis, deal with the independent variables when it comes to the dependent variable being the fuel prices or price in Ghana, and pick each of the underlying variable and say that, okay, we made this specific decision. It has impacted this. We should stop this wishy-washy praising or blaming. When you go down, it might not be what you're talking about. I don't know if you understand.
That prices may not be sustained.
I am an external stakeholder as of now. I don't think I'll have all the relevant pieces of information my brother Duncan
was giving,
has.
yes.
Or even now what Ato or Sami Jemfi might have had. Especially now that I'm fully engaged in moving up and down, all these things. But trust me, what goes into these things? You're talking about world prices. Can we compare the world fuel or crude price or oil price last year, last 2 years, and today, and see that that correlation is there? And if it's true, was it actually driven by the decision-making process?
Are you saying that there's nothing unique about what
you know? This is what you do.
Okay.
I'm trying to build my thing. I'm not blaming anyone.
I get it.
I'm establishing a platform that I believe in. You see, one of them, the fair guy, he said that long-term solution, because NPP and DC and the media and some of our own people, we do these things. If you don't take it, Ghana will not go anywhere.
I mean, but Doc, if you were to be in power, you would have taken credit for what's happening now if it were to be your tenure.
They are still not taking what I'm saying. I can praise them and sit down. I can criticize them and say, I don't want to do that. I'm not saying, I'm saying that if NDC have been there, NPP have been there, they will take credit. Anybody commenting, a few of them probably they have experience that Duncan has, and then he will say things based on the data he has and his experience. Even sometimes those who have the expertise, they have underlying interest, whether in DC and people. The media, to some of you don't even know. That's as maybe I may not know. You have your interest. But what I'm saying is, if we want to sit down here and analyze this thing based on the context you guys are raising, then let's do something better and deeper. Because I am very intellectually, oriented person. If you say it's Ato or NDC, then let's begin to analyze the independent variables.
Let's look at gold, for instance. And for instance, what you did during your tenure.
Can you let me do?
If
you want me to say what you want, let me stop talking.
No, that's not the point.
Ask me one question. Having been build one point, then you move me to another.
Apologies.
How can I also impact people so that people know that I'm not saying the right thing? Respectfully. Just give
it's also because we're running with time, so you would also want
to then this thing will not save us.
I'm
being honest with you.
I was just going to ask.
Then we won't have time to talk.
Doc,
when I started, if you allow me to even build my preamble, you have asked me a question.
Proceed.
No, what I'm saying is that if you talk about, take the fuel price to be a dependent variable. We have independent variables, factors that influence them, or the pricing. Then you pick world market price is one.
Yes.
About 5 years down the line or up to this, what has been the price? Is it going up and so we are charging cheap? Then you can say that, the government is really doing well, even though it's going up. The government is making decisions or taking options that are helping us. 2, let's talk about the cost buildup, what goes into it. I know, I'm a layman in energy sector, but I'll do my best because of my financial background, economic knowledge. You talk of taxes. You talk of exchange rate. You talk of other factors. Okay, some of them are discretionary. that the government of the day can decide to make this decision A, B, C, D, discretion. Some of them are statutory. Government cannot do anything. Yeah. So if the world market price is going down and it's affecting us, you can't say it's government or not.
Is that what's happening in this case?
I think if you heard me right, I'm saying that I don't have the relevant data, but I just checked it and I realized that, last year and probably last 2 years, world market prices were higher than even today. Right. Even now, it started going up, but it's still saying that although it started going up, it's still down by almost 18% as compared to. I hope
to the previous.
Then if you talk of exchange rate, this exchange rate that people talk about is very funny. What influences exchange rate? Basically, supply and demand. So what has caused it? By January 2025, between December and January, we had about $1 billion in our account as a country. How did we get it? For the first time, I stand to be corrected, Ghana had domesticated cocoa syndication. So that all the billions that they were paying outside, they paid them in Ghana here. 2, we have had a very peaceful, relatively peaceful elections. NDC has won convincingly. Investors all over the world have started having confidence in us because they saw stability. America then, because of Trump's decision, has started having terrorist war with the giant partners from the Asia. Almost all the primary macro indicators that have direct impact in terms of degree of integration to high extent has started doing so much well by the last quarter 2024. Primary balance, trade balance, even inflation that was about 54.1 had come down to 22.9. GDP had been 0.4 or 5, had come down up to 5.6. So all these factors had really influenced the currency that we are impacting us today. I will never say that Atufosin has done good or bad. First year of any new government, you cannot attribute anything big or bad to them. Let's see what goes on. But then, all these things, what we have to look at, it's not a political aspect. What one of them said, in fact, 2 of them, the politics, and then is it a solution that will be sustainable, long term? As of now, whether in this NPP, whether Duncan or me or Ato, we don't know the amount of dollars being circulated in Ghana.
But whatever the case, what you've relied on both as 2 different governments is the gold price or gold.
We started with the gold race.
Yeah, you started. So and that's why the question will still face you. No, let me ask the question. That's why I want to ask the question. You did a gold for oil program. This government is going with a different approach with a gold board system. Don't you feel that is uniquely what's accounting for this? Because you were running.
It's the same. When you say board, I'm sure in terms of legal tenacity. All right. Sometimes you can have a commission or a body, but once you get to board and other things, sometimes the authority in terms of the legal, the act, there hasn't been any. But let me tell you, the economic successes we are talking, you cannot attribute it to the good thing. Of course, you cannot say it doesn't make sense. Sami Jamfi has been doing well. He's a young guy. One thing about me, something I don't have very deep understanding or haven't gotten the data because we have asymmetric information management. If I'm not privy to, I'm not a politician.
Yeah, but by observation, we can tell that you run a gold for oil program.
So that has changed everything. Let me tell you, the economy by 2024, please, from here, Google or go for 2024, Dr. Atufosin's own budget statement, and look at how Ghana's economy got restored before we lost power. 2025. No, 2024.
Yeah, the budget. Yeah. You mean the first budget? You mean the first budget of the
they started what they met. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is that in this country we run what is called defensive market economy. SMEs alone forms about 90%. And I don't want to be too technical.
Are you not having difficulties in acknowledging what the NDC administration is
because you're not ready to listen to the education I'm giving.
No, I am listening.
But
you're also failing to admit that something unique is happening, isn't it?
You want to do politics. No, I want to explain as somebody.
But can you really take out the politics from this?
When I'm trying to make a point that we can all learn from, then you throw me somewhere.
No, but I have to ask you the questions as well.
Because, but when you ask me questions, let me land. I was trying to explain a good point.
Yes.
me land, then you ask me. They're not even lending me land. The point I'm making is that the impact of any economic indicator in our country, there's a lag period. It takes a long time because our market is basically SMEs.
So what you started is now impacting the country.
Exactly. But it doesn't mean ATO and the government, they are doing bad. Right. No.
Okay. Right
now, if we are even asked just percentage of what this government had done as a percentage of our GDP, ask you, when even all the great policies they say they are bringing, they haven't even started. I don't know. We call something systematic risk index. It's an index to check how fast and quickly impact of the economy, the economic performance impact people.
Yeah.
And because our defensive sector, ours is far less than 1. So it takes a long time. If practically we realized, anytime NPP and DC, we brag that, the economic figures are doing well.
Yeah.
Ghanaians normally say we don't feel them in our pocket.
Yeah.
So it takes a long time. Nobody can sit anywhere. And I'm not saying I know everything, right, but it's my field. And say that, NDC government has done so bad or so well. No. What we've been experiencing for the past 12 months is as a result of last quarter, the restoration. We had GDP 5.6. Now, GDP, how much we have? Even inflation have gone 54.1. By the time they took over, it had come down to 22.9.
So what I'm saying is, and now we're in a single
exactly. So it was that downward trend. Let's see now that the NDC government is coming to start implement its own programs, make a lot of outlays or expenditures, pay most of the contractors, make decisions. Then we will see
what the true picture is.
You cannot sit here and say that NDC's government last year is doing what they are doing, or the government has done bad. I will not see that.
Okay, Solomon, let me hear from you as well. So a cumulative effect of what started under the last quarter of the NPP, you agree?
Not too sure. Because, you see, in 2016, the inflation was 15.7. And then when the NPP took over, it went down to about 7. So all of us thought that it would continue the trajectory of reducing to, say, the barest minimum. However, it shot up to as high as 54%. You understand?
Yeah, 54.1.
Now, what were the factors? We were told that there was a Russia-Ukraine. You understand? As we speak, there is Russia-Ukraine. Are you with me? And it has even heightened.
Is it the same?
It has even heightened.
Oh, okay.
As we speak now, Putin and then Zelensky. The assassination attempts on Zelensky's life for the last couple of months is amazing. You understand? So it means, or it draws one conclusion, that there was so much mismanagement.
But there was COVID too.
COVID what? How long was COVID?
Okay.
How long was COVID? In fact, during COVID,
there was a pandemic.
There was a pandemic. There was chop. That was what led us there. Remember, we were told that they used 54 million cedis to cook food for you and I to eat. Did you eat? So the last I asked you. You said you never.
Yeah, but why are you asking? Why are you always asking me?
But you know,
the rice?
I asked your studio guests. They said they never ate
for this discussion.
Oh, but Sticka.
Not you. I'm not talking.
No, but this is so much unfair to my community.
Not you.
No. It is. Then all of us, let's get up because
you are no. Boss, they invited me not for this.
Absolutely,
that is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because
all right, then
we'll get to the NPP politics.
But
I don't even want to discuss it.
No, my brother.
It's not about. But it is so.
The things you told me to come and discuss.
But you knew that, but you discussed it.
No, but whatever the case,
no, but you discussed. So you did it. No, but I am speaking.
Then I'm sorry.
It's so sad. It's so sad. No, it's so sad.
We'll get to the NPP politics.
The truth of the matter is that the NDC can take the credit because at the end of the day, they are managing the economy. Look, in 2008, you understand, world market price of crude went as high as $120 on the international market. Yet, Ghana, we were buying a liter of diesel at 1 cedi. What accounted for that? Because at that time, the cedi to the dollar was almost at par. You understand?
Yeah.
Fast forward today, if we were going to do the same mathematics, that if at 120 we were buying a liter of diesel at 1 cedi, then today that is around 65, we must be buying at some 20 pesos or 30 pesos. What is accounting for us buying at 9 cedi is the fact that the cedi to the dollar is not in the best of shape. We are now having to exchange 1 cedi to say $1 to say 11 cedis. So if you are able to manage your dollar very well, then you will be able to stabilize your crude. In any case, we have also not looked at the other side of the equation. You know, Ghana is a net exporter of crude. So all the windfall that we make from our crude, what do we use it for? That's why I was bringing to you what you call discipline in the system. The way and manner we prioritize things in this country, the corruption levels. If you are going to invest your money in projects that do not directly benefit the citizen, what it means is that you're only shipping away our dollar. And that will not stabilize your city. So it is about prudent management, it's about discipline, making judicious use of the limited resources that you have to improve the living conditions of your people. That was missing in the last administration, in all sincerity. How can you go and invest in National Cathedral and think that your city will be stable? Look at what we are dealing with SML, the PDS.
I mean, practically speaking, how does the National Cathedral impact on
you practically invested $97 million of Ghanaian taxpayers' revenue into a hole. What is the benefit of that? That we could have invested it in agriculture, which would have given you returns, if indeed monies were going to get to the farmers. That we could have given it to the SMEs. Because at the same time that you were doing that, the very government had a program or policy called One District, One Factory, where businesses, existing businesses were struggling, that they needed recapitalization. You know what $97 million could do? They could have expanded these businesses, and the teeming youth that are not employed would get jobs to do. We failed to do that. We go and borrow money, we don't know how we invest it. You understand? You have a national service, a secretariat, that all of us that we say 2.4 billion missing. If you do all these things, how do you get your system established? So if this government is not doing anything and the only policy that they implemented is discipline, that's fine. Then I prefer a government that will be disciplined to assure us of a stabilized economy than a government that comes with fanciful policies and at the end of the day, we don't achieve anything. So we need to acknowledge what they have done, but rather and encourage them to be doing more, and this time around begin to enter into the productive sectors. I heard the finance minister say that, for instance, that they intend to invest heavily in the palm oil sector. It's a very crucial aspect of our economy. Because Malaysia came here, took our palm fruit, went back to Malaysia, invested in it, and now they are making $20 billion annually from it. The cocoa that we have relied on, blessed, for all these years, almost a century or more than a century, it does not give us more than $2 billion annually. So why would we have the fertile land, the technology, even if the technology is not enhanced, that we could go and learn to come and invest in the palm plantation and we will sell.
It's good you're raising this point, because the feeling is that government has been too reliant on gold. That's all we seem to be doing.
No, that's why I'm saying that your first year, I mean, all of us agreed that the economic indicators were not in the best of shape. If you were doing inflation at 23%, your cedi to the dollar was around 15 cedis as of end 2024. Your debt to GDP was in the region of 65%. You needed to stabilize all these things. Now that you have stabilized these things, it is time to enter into production. The windfall that you are getting, make sure that you invest in other areas that will either rake in forex or will not propel you to be expanding forex. You get my point. Some of the basic things that we have comparative advantage, we must be able to invest in them. And one of such things is palm. One of such things is pharmaceutical. If you look at our import bill on pharmaceuticals alone, we are importing annually $600 million. But you have the Kina farmers, you have all these companies here, the item drugs and so on and so forth. Just invest in them and let them expand. And the youth will get jobs to do. You get my point. We have been importing a lot of vehicles and its parts. It's the reason why under the SOL administration, they brought something we call automotive development policy. The idea was to produce or manufacture parts, vehicle parts, and the vehicles itself. The 5 or 6 leading automobile companies started assembling here. That is the reason why all the Hilux and Co. that you find on the market are from Ghana. They are not from outside. But that is not the long-term view. I believe that this government must push that agenda and make sure that they begin to manufacture the parts.
I want us to wrap up with Duncan, but your final take on or probably a message to GPRTU, because we've seen the visuals, it's not pleasing at all, that in spite of the reduction in the prices, Ghanaians are feeling the pinch of it.
So every serious city has what we call City Transport Authority. I'm here to find that one for instance, in Accra. You cannot allow your transport sector to be run by in an unstructured way. So immediately there has to be the City Transport Authority that will be regulating some of it. If the City Transport Authority were to be available and was working properly, it will not take the GPRTU to be instilling discipline in their members. As it is now, even the GPRTU members, they themselves don't have that much needed vehicles to be altering the market. But transport owners and drivers alike must also think about the people of this country. I mean, it is Ghanaians that you are dealing with. Yesterday night, I saw a despicable situation along the La Paz to as late as 10 p.m. The number of people that were on the roadside waiting for vehicles, I couldn't believe it. These were people that went to work around 3 a.m. and as late as 10 p.m., they are still there. What is the issue? We must go back and then find out if it is that the cost of components, government can still reduce taxes for them to be fixing their vehicles to come on the road, fair due. If it is that all the buses that are with Metro Mass that they claim that are due for servicing, they can quickly move in and service them, they should bring them back. But the long-term solution or the medium-term is to invest heavily in the rail so that they run side by side with the road.
Duncan, let me give you the final take on this so we can talk politics now. You just want to chip in. Yeah, so just hold on for us briefly. So we get
I think we need to clear this for the purposes of educating the public. You know, this issue about the economic crisis that we had, that we keep on deceiving the public and the young ones, is very unfortunate. Very, very serious. And I think Ghanaians, all of us, including me, if we claim it's God's country, those who have expertise, like where you are, you have expertise I don't have. My brother may have expertise I may not have. But let's try to create a platform that people will look at God. They understand areas and speak to the public.
What's the important point?
Because what I'm saying is that you have a country that almost everything depends on somebody's economy. We wake up one day, things went so bad globally to the extent that first time in the history of this country, Ghanaians were asked to stay home. They were paid for a few months, and they ran shift for almost 18 months. 5 come today, another 5 will come the next 2 weeks. And then private sector sacked over 40,000 people. Revenue to even develop our country and back on our expenditure obligations. We had a shortfall of about 12 billion. We had to rely on borrowing, debt financing. The economy was not growing because it was global. The world grew negative 3.3. Ghana grew about 0.4. These were serious crises that we had no control. And then suddenly, people say all manner of things because of politics, either they don't understand. Fine, it's politics. But what are we doing to this generation?
Yeah, but are you referring to... No, I will not sit here. No.
I'm talking about general things.
Don't play this because I understand this game too well.
Yeah, man.
You are not...
Yeah, man.
You see, but you give me the opportunity to remark. You give me, I will not take this. They are all doing it. If you say, if you fear God, who is not afraid of God?
I'm not talking about
it. It is me that I just spoke. Nobody has spoken here. Me and you and Duncan Amoah have been doing this discussion. Yeah. You have not been taking part in the discussion. So if I speak and immediately you come and say that if you speak to, if you fear God, if you understand, I'm not
saying we should call experts.
Okay, Sticka, land on.
Who is an expert in this?
So let him land.
We are discussing.
So land on the point and then.
No, it's not good. It's not good. This business you are doing. First of all, even having a discussion. When I started my discussion, you say if I knew this was what.
Yeah, because they didn't ask me to come and talk about this. It's not you.
So let me give you.
Okay. I'm very offended because I mean I'm also not interested in doing this program with you.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm
gentlemen,
not interested.
Because for you to come and sit here, everybody, you see, I'm in black. You know the funeral that I'm supposed to attend.
Gentlemen, let me go to Duncan.
Respect I have for
I get. So, gentlemen. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, we'll go there. We'll go there. Okay, gentlemen, it's okay. Okay. Duncan Amoah, let me give you the take now. Yeah, let me hear from you, Duncan. Duncan, you've heard the views, yes. Duncan, you've heard the views, yes. You've heard the views. But honestly, no. But Doc, let me say this. Doc, hold on. Duncan, just a minute. Dr. Amoah, this is the point. We don't see how we'll be having a conversation on the economy, and I mean, you're part of a panel. You might be talking about politics, and we would not want to hear from you on the economy because you were once a deputy finance minister.
But what I'm saying is, you have
so that's why we're just but you get my point.
Understand what I'm saying.
I'm just saying to you.
I'm from Kumasi.
I get your point.
You told me we are coming to do this.
Yeah.
I drove to here only to discuss things that you never called.
Let me hear from Duncan.
I can do serious politics here, which I don't want. Nobody doing politics. Yeah, boss, I'm not talking.
Duncan, let me hear.
You know, I'm giving you.
Okay, gentlemen, just hold on. Let's listen to Duncan.
Bless.
Yeah.
At the risk of being taken to the cleanest feather by my brother Stephen Amoah, let me say that Solomon Owusu and my hats off on this one. You see, it is easy to make excuses when you don't have your fundamentals in check. We hide behind COVID to insist there was a reason things got so bad. Bless, at the height of COVID, international market prices for crude, and for that matter, even finished products, had collapsed totally. It got to a point the U.S. inventories were now paying cargo to return. So we went into the negative. The bad government then, to have taken advantage of the situation, were caught limping. In the end, in the face of all the hardships that Dr. Stephen Amoah points to, what we saw was rather COVID levy. So I don't think that hiding behind some of these things to make excuses for why things were so bad, you should entertain it. And at the same time, when some of us say that, look, blame the good performance of the Ghanaian city on some of the things that, for instance, Atoforsen, Samejemfi, Dr. Esiama at the Bank of Ghana have done, then he says that we should interrogate. Look, when we are done, I'll send you the data. He requested for 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. I have all of them. It's as though we knew we will get to this point. And so we've done all the data simulation or analysis. I will share that with you so that at least you can put that forward to the public. But the truth is, if the currency had not done any better, the fuel pricing would not be any better because, one, you import in the dollar. You cannot allow the market here to buy or sell in dollar. So you sell to the city. That's where the exchange differential becomes key. And I have said this. There's almost a certain unspoken rule that says 1 liter to $1. And so why I said Solomon Owusu earns my respect. When he talks of 2008, 2007, we did redenomination. The city was almost at par with the dollar. So were fuel prices. And watch, when NPP had to exit in 2024, at the time the city was exchanging for about 15. The fuel price was equally around 15, 14.99. So look at it. Anytime the currency does well, there's some general relief that you give Ghanaians. Anytime you lose the currency battle, there is some hardship that Ghanaians would have to undergo. There's a seamless symmetry. You can't do without it. And I'm surprised that the intellectual that Dr. Steve Amoah says he is, he would not want to admit some of these things. Look,
no.
I will be the
Duncan,
first to go after the government.
Please, no,
right?
you cannot
Yeah.
If
tell
it
him to
fails,
withdraw that statement. No, but that is, Duncan, please, let's show mutual respect. Don't talk that way to me.
No, Steve.
Now, you tell me that
Steve.
intellectual as I am. Maybe you don't understand what you are discussing. I haven't said that Ghana is perfect.
Okay.
First 4 years of MPP, what happened? We're growing 7%. No, please,
Steve.
don't say intellectual as I claim. This is what they do. You respond and they change the story. I think I'm more intellectual than you.
You took a swipe at me and thinking that I didn't read. Listen.
Tell me one thing I said about him. No, say it.
I'll give you the time.
Please, this doesn't make sense.
I'll give you the time.
You were
can't come here and talk
trying all
like
you
that.
could. Listen.
Please.
Steve, listen.
What did I say about it?
I'll give you the time.
I was even saying that, you have knowledge in that area. What did I say about it?
Steve, I'll give you the time.
Steven.
Yeah,
Oh, please.
Steven.
No, but don't say
Steven.
I claim I am. Of course I am.
No,
of course I am.
no,
And I haven't compared myself to you. And I haven't looked down upon your expertise. Don't talk like that, please.
The discussion
don't talk like that.
The way you want to
because it's Ghana. This is what we go on every day. With all this, we are always where we are.
No.
But you can't say intellectual as I claim.
I'll give the time.
That is very insolent.
That is not what I said. If you have listened to me carefully.
Duncan, just land on the point for me, yes.
So, Bless, what I'm saying is this. If we want to have intellectual discourses on fewer matters, I'm willing to debate Dr. Stephen Amoah any day.
I'm sure he wasn't listening.
And I'm not going to debate him on emotions or anything.
Oh,
I have followed this industry for decades. So I understand. I can give you all the prices since 2016. I can give you every single month the price averages, because you recall we used to even announce or communicate this. So some of the things I communicated, you asked whether the government has had any hand in the price movement of petroleum prices. And my response was that to the extent that the CD's good run of form is concerned, I'll give Ato Fulton, I'll give Dr. Esiama, I'll give Sami Jemfi, right, the credit. If I wake up tomorrow morning and the same city is in such a bad place and excuses are made that, look, US has attacked Venezuela, Russia is still fighting Ukraine, China is looking to take over Taiwan, there's Iran-Israeli conflict, and so the managers of the economy come back with the excuses that Dr. Stephen Amoah was seeking to hide behind as the reason for which fuel prices went to 23 Ghana cedis, 17 Ghana cedis at some point. I will go after them.
Okay.
I will go after them because at the same time we were complaining of Russia, Ukraine, your countries like Ivory Coast, countries that are landlocked, like Burkina, were able to sell fuel less than we sold for Ghanaian. And so some of the things he cannot hide and say that, okay, well, he wants to be intellectual and suggest that the rest of us are being deceitful or we are saying things we don't know. We know the things we say, honestly. And I think that as far as the drop in fuel prices are concerned, international market price for crude as of today is around 65. It's not gone down as sharply as he thinks. It's not gone down as sharply. What has helped the world is the oversupply situation. It got to a point, Russia was still pumping products, right? Even in the face of sanctions, was able to feed China, India. It got to a point, OPEC, instead of cutting back on numbers, they were still pumping. And so anytime you have oversupply, prices sort of, rally to a point. It doesn't go down much, it doesn't go up, but it rallies to a point.
All right.
It does not, however, mean, blessed, that international market prices have collapsed. No. They are still bullish sentiments today. I even said it earlier in my presentation that the writings are on the wall that we may get to a point where prices would go up. We can get to the $100 mark in no time. Right. Because the geopolitical tensions, US is still talking of Greenland.
Yeah.
EU is steeply against it.
I get the point now.
US is being urged by Israel as we speak to look at, the Iranian situation and go after them. If you have the critical suppliers like Venezuela, Iran, right, on the chopping table, it should be a scare for anybody. And I said that. I was surprised he had none of these things.
Yeah.
But the part that I said, for the currency bit that has been available, we should, give some applause to Atu Forsen, applause to Sami Jempi, applause to the Bank of Ghana governor. That he has a problem with.
Well,
it's a fact.
Okay. So this is Duncan Amoah.
I never said
Duncan Amoah. So let's close the chapter on this. I'll give you 2 minutes, Solo, and then I'll give the last stick to Dr. Stephen Amoah. So we close the chapter on this. Yes.
So first of all, the happiness currently, because there is a government in place, they have every right to take the credit for it. Because tomorrow, if the prices begin to wobble, I will come here and then blame them. It is the reason why we have government in place. You understand? You are put there to manage the economy efficiently so that all of us would benefit from it. I always come here and quote Article 36 for you, that the duty of every government is to make sure that the citizens are happy. To the extent that there is somebody who is the head of state or who is the president who has appointed people to manage various sectors, if things are not going well and the people are not happy, they would equally share the blame. What happened in the last 8 years was largely mismanagement. Or during COVID, in the same way we are told that we could not mobilize 12 billion cedis in terms of tax revenue. Remember, we got close to $3 billion. Yeah. Some from the IMF, some from the World Bank, some from the African Development Bank. Where did we or what did we do with that money? Remember that time alone, we were able to rake in close to $100 million at the airports. People, it became business for others. What did we do to that money? You understand? So if we had money and that could have balanced our budget, yet we were not in that situation, and at the end of the day, things degenerated. Why would you then come back and say that it was because of external factors? Again, like Duncan was saying, prior to Russia, Ukraine, when COVID struck, international market, oil prices reduced significantly. Nobody was buying oil. If we were that strategic, if we had managed the economy well, we could have bought a lot of oil to store.
Yeah, but we did good for oil.
Good for, that was another, look, that policy I don't want to even hear. That was corruption personified. Gold for oil. When you sell gold, what do you get? Is it not dollar? Is it not dollar that we used to buy crude? A policy that was shrouded in secrecy to the extent that the last Bank of Ghana's, the 2024 financial statement clearly showed that in 2024, we lost 1.82 billion Ghana cedis through gold for oil. Is it a good policy?
But gold board is equally, the BOG.
So another aspect was Ghana started buying gold. The Bank of Ghana started buying gold as far back as 1960s. In the 60s, they were buying. Only that the magnitude, the quantity is what has improved. It's a policy that has been there since. But it receives some currency, I think 2021, 2022. But that doesn't mean that it is there. That policy is good because it is ensuring some levels of stability in our exchange rate portfolio. As against the gold for oil, that at the time that we were going for that policy, a liter of diesel was sold in the international market or in Ghana around 15 cedis. By the time we exited the policy, it was still not in the best of shapes. So why would you put yourself on that policy? It wasn't a good policy, and I'm very happy that the Bank of Ghana has abrogated that policy.
Okay. Doc, I'll give you the final take on this so we deal with the primaries.
I'm not happy with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, don't do that. You see, Ghana, we don't want people who are honest.
Okay.
Duncan, I never said anything. I was even kind of heaping positive stuff on him that it's his area.
Right.
He even has the data. I don't even have the data. I said all this. Where did I attack him? So you are hosting this program.
Yeah.
When he started saying things I had never said, you should have corrected him. Oh, my brother, Sticka never said anything about you.
So the point is, I don't speak for you.
I'm done with my tools.
No, the point is, I don't speak for you.
Program,
so
we are here.
Since you're here, I'm just giving you the opportunity to respond because you're here with him.
Anyway, I haven't insulted.
Yeah.
This is where
that's why I'm giving you the time to clarify
that. I'm done with my comment.
You
no, I don't want to comment.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll just point out that I don't speak for you.
No problem.
And since you are here, you have the opportunity to respond to whatever he's raised. That's why I'm giving
I don't want to respond for me to be insulted again.
No.
It's okay.
If you feel insulted, I'll give the
opportunity. At least Ghanaians are watching us.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure Duncan was not listening to me.
Yeah.
And you ask me whether NDC they've been doing well or not.
Yeah.
This is not only platform I've spoken.
Right.
My stand is that any new government for the first year cannot do anything that you can blame the government or praise the government. And it's a fact. And if you talk about currency, there are causes, factors, independent variables, and I stated all of them. And I explained. My point was not to, keep scorn on my brother's intelligence. I was talking about the fact that we have people who understand these areas. They are outside, they are not even here. Sometimes they speak with underlying interest. And that when they are speaking, they should bring in the concept of God. I'm not holy, but I believe in God. I wasn't even talking about him. Then Duncan came on board that the intellectual, as I claim I am, that I spoke against him when he praised Atoforsen. And you know that was not the case. I'm not saying speak on my behalf. You are hosting the you could have told him that, Sticka never said that. Maybe you didn't hear that bit.
Because you were generic in your point, I had to give you the opportunity to
it's
respond.
Okay. That's fine.
You get my point.
But when NPP came first, 4 years, that there was no COVID. There was nobody who attributed Ghana's challenge to only COVID. Ghana fundamentally has a lot of anomalies that even up to now, they are still there.
I get that.
But when NPP came, first 4 years, that were growing 7%, inflation second digit, we were doing all the pro-poor policies, we were praising us. The time Ghana started going bad, of course, we had our challenges. Some of the things they raised, I agree. Were we having global issues or not? We can't scrap that and say that there was no problem. That's what we are talking about. Nobody is hiding behind anything. And before we left power, what had been the situation? We had recovered, but the impact on Ghanaians hadn't been felt. So they voted against us. That's my analysis.
All right.
We are discussing these things. It's not what you see qualitatively. You deal with numbers, you deal with figures, you deal with indices. Let's subject this, put them on the table, and see who is speaking the truth.
Okay.
But if you come and attack me and say things that I know nothing about, we are all trying to build a country. Please, let's stop these things.
All right. Thank you.
Wrong. If I had said these things, if I had said these things, the story is, politicians are arrogant. They don't respect. But Duncan was attacking me for nothing.
Duncan, I want to give you the opportunity. You have any interest in apologizing perhaps to Dr. Stephen Amoah?
I was even praising him that he has the numbers, he understands. And I was even a layman in that area. You remember?
Duncan, you want to close?
Why does he have to attack me?
You want to apologize to Dr. Amoah?
Bless.
Yeah.
Me, I'm not asking for any apology. You leave him to attack me.
In all sincerity, if my brother had equally listened to me,
please,
he would have realized I was not attacking you. The point I made, and let me repeat, the point I made, if you find that distasteful, look, Dr. Stephen Amoah, you are somebody I know personally. There's not anything that, would make me want to attack. No. What I was saying was this. Look, if we claim to want to do intellectual analysis of the facts, you still cannot take away the contribution of the Bank of Ghana government, the gold board
into COVID and the economy. It wasn't even your discussion.
For the sake of,
it wasn't even your discussion. Then you come to insult me. How?
I don't see where they stop getting emotional over things
that
people have not said.
No,
I never said anything about insulting you.
Stop insulting me.
You know this.
I'm not being
emotional over something.
I could have used that.
Let's allow the program to flow.
Say worse things.
Okay, Duncan Amoah, thank you so much. Duncan, let me thank you. It's too early in the morning. Let me thank you for joining us.
Of course.
Duncan, it's okay. So
Speaker feels slighted by what I said. I'm sorry, but it wasn't to denigrate or insult him. Far from that. What I was saying is, intellectually, there's basis to say that Gold Board has been, phenomenal in delivering billions. That has contributed to the downward spiral of fuel prices.
Thank you so much.
I stand by that.
Thank you so much, Duncan Amoah, for joining us. He's apologized to you. And just to clear the air, the aspect that has got to do with me, I know my job too well. The principle is I allow you to have your time to respond. So it's not personal, Dr. Stephen Amoah. Let's move now into the NPP primaries. Of course, you are a good supporter of Kennedy Agyapong. Of course, we saw what happened was it last night or over the past 24 hours, with the NPP camp now hosting all of the flag bearers, persons who are aspirants, hoping to lead the NPP into the 2028 elections. I want you to see highlights of this peace pact that was signed by all of the candidates and how things, went by when the signing was taking place. Then we head into the discussions.
To get the contestants to affirm that the process has so far been transparent, inclusive, and fair. That want them to commit to accept the results and want them to commit to support whoever wins out of the 5 members of the team of things.
Let me be clear. The NPP is bigger than any individual. No ambition, grievance, or faction is greater than the elephant. Leadership contests must never weaken the collective cause. Unity is not optional. Unity is not a slogan. Unity is a strategic necessity for victory. So I charge all of you, this peace pact must not only be signed, it must be lived.
Let me start off by saying that opposition is painful and lonely. We know this. Good friends don't pick up calls. They ignore us and they find new friends. We are living it. We feel it every day. And surely, none of us wants to remain there. We want power to serve, to transform lives, and to move Ghana forward. But power does not come through division. Power comes through discipline. Power comes through unity. Power comes through sacrifice. Let's note, the history of this tradition teaches us a simple truth. Whenever the NPP is united, it is formidable, and whenever it is divided, it bleeds, and Ghana pays the price. Factionalism may energize internal contests, but it weakens the party's capacity to win national election and to govern effectively. And I was saddened hearing that the respected Professor Frimpong Boateng saying publicly that he did not vote in 2024 elections. This is what division can do to us. It's unfortunate.
Distinguished presidential candidates, in my work as the chairperson of the party's conflict resolution committee from 2010 to 2020, it became clear that our electoral losses, both in parliamentary and presidential elections, can be largely linked to the many internal conflicts within the party and our inability to heal faster. We are unable to forgive ourselves, reconcile, and move on after our internal elections.
Please, we are cautioning that the police are more macho than the macho men you deploy. And that when it comes to the stage, that these macho men will not take advice from the caution that is given them. And they come to the police station and then we arrest them.
Support whoever wins out of the 5 members of the team of things.
Let me be clear. The NPP is bigger than any individual. No ambition, grievance, or faction is greater than the elephant. Leadership contests must never weaken.
Yeah. What's a good note to come back in studio? Former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo speaking there that the NPP is bigger than any individual. So yeah, who's your favorite? About three, is it 3 or 2 doctors? Dr. Brian Agyapong, Dr. Duchum. Is there any more doctor in there? Dr. Baumia, yes. 3 of them. There's an engineer too, and then the last one, Kennedy Agyapong. Businessman, okay. Mugu, I like the way you're describing. Let me get into the audience at once. Let me find out, what's your preference in terms of who you want to support?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm a chairman at the polling station.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so in fact, I will vote. Yeah, I'm a delegate, yeah.
Dear delegates, they say.
What I'll say is that all the 5 aspirants are fit to lead the party. They've all served the party very, very, very well. By my own preference, I'll choose Honorable Kennedy Agyapong.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I said earlier, we cannot be doing politics with this CD, dollar fuel. And it's about job creation. It's about job creation, the youth of this country. It's about we need jobs. And Kennedy Agyapong has shown that when it comes to job creation, he's doing very, very, very well. And he's also disciplined. In fact, he'll be ruthless. He doesn't care whether you're in his party, whether you're in his government, and you're misbehaving. He will call you out and make sure he reshuffles you.
Yeah.
We need a leader who is very ruthless. Where the country is heading to, we don't need a leader who people can control, others can control, or who be.
So you're saying that out of this 5, Kennedy Agyapong stands tall?
Very, very, very tall. And in fact, he has served in Parliament for 6 good terms. In fact, 30 years. No one in our party, in the Fourth Republic, has done this.
Oh, really?
For 6 terms.
You mean for the NPP?
Yeah, for the NPP, 6 consecutive terms, yeah.
Okay.
He loves
I think there's Collins Dauda on the...
So it's 5.
Okay, so you're talking about the...
Yes, 6.
The NPP, you're referring to...
Yeah, the NPP, 6 terms. Okay. Yeah, and in fact, I will not say people in this constituency are dumb.
Yeah.
Because they know what he's capable of. That's why they allow him to go 6 terms. In fact, if he wasn't doing well, they would have dumped him and then bring in another candidate. Right. So I think Kennedy Agyapong deserves to lead the party. If we want power, if the NPP wants power, I think we have to bring Kennedy Agyapong. And I always call for a meeting at police station. I'm a chairman.
Okay.
When I call for meetings, what they tell me is a chairman, that's
what the people tell you?
Yeah, my police station members, when I call for meeting, that's what they tell me. That
are you not blackmailing party members when you say, if you want power, then bring Ken?
No, that's what my people tell me at the police station. I call for meetings. My secretary, my youth organizer, my organizer, they're all there. We call for meetings. And that's what they tell us. That if you go, make sure you vote for Ken. If you want power, if you want the base, if you want to energize the base again, make sure you bring Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. So for me, on the 31st, I'm casting my vote for Kennedy Agyapong. Thank you.
Okay, we'll wait to see what the delegates will see ultimately. Let's go behind. I'll come to you.
Blessed, thank you for the opportunity you've given us to share our views when it comes to national issues. My brother here said that he's voting for Honorable Kennedy Agyapong because of jobs. I am a student of economics, so I am economics biased. So I want an economist to lead the country in the sense that yes, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong is a businessman, but then it's not a businessman. The fact that you are bringing a businessman doesn't mean that you are going to create jobs. It's going to be...
But practically, he's created some jobs.
Yes, so if that's the case, then you can say that when lawyers lead, then everything in the country, law will be, there will be law-abiding citizens, or everything will be, there will be, how do I even put it? When lawyers...
Law and order, you mean?
Law and order, you get it. So if someone is arguing based on the fact that he's experienced, he has been a parliamentarian for 6 years.
6 terms.
6 terms. Yeah. If someone is a vice president and the person wants to become the president, the person is more experienced than the parliamentarian. Unless maybe you want to do a disservice to ourselves and say that someone who has been a an MP for 6 terms is more experienced than the vice president.
But you never know. They are all. He's saying that there's a reason why, politically speaking, constituents would want to bring you 6 times. That's what.
I'm also making the point that
unlike a vice president,
I'm also making the point that if you are using the MP as a yardstick of being experienced, then I'm picking.
Yeah, the repeated times. Yeah, but I get you. So just land so we can.
So I am also arguing from the point of view that if from being the vice president and the person wants to be the president, that's okay. And then I want to finish with this. Those who are students of literature and lovers of Shakespeare would understand that in the Julius Caesar's, the tragedy of Julius Caesar, some were used, Brutus was used to do the bidding of Cassius, in the sense that some people think that they are doing the bidding of, some people think they are doing the party good by campaigning for their candidate or any other candidate. But then they end up doing they hurting the party more than they doing good for the party. So all that I want to do that, he can argue. And
in this case, who's hurting the party more?
We all know.
I don't know. I'm not a member of the NPP.
You all know. We don't have to pinpoint. We all know.
All right.
We all know. I won't pinpoint.
Okay.
I've not mentioned anyone's name. Okay. So if you feel guilty, then it's you. You get it. So all that I would say is that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, as an economist as he is, has proven beyond reasonable doubt that even the successes that the current administration is chopping, one or the other can be attributed to him.
Okay.
So why don't we give him the nod to become the president of the country?
Okay. Are you a delegate?
I'm not.
Okay, he is.
But then I have people that they've told me this what.
Well, so let's just wait. Let's just wait. Oh, Jata is there. Just yield to Jata.
Right. Blessed, thank you very much for the opportunity once again.
I'll give you the opportunity.
But just to add to what my brother said, my very good brother said, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been vice president and the chairperson of the economic management team. And he came into power because he was an economist. And we expected that he will be able to arrest the dollar and fulfill the promises that he gave. But clearly within the period, I will call that period a test period. Yeah. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has failed the test, that Ghanaians trusted him. And then he came out to tell us that he was just a mate. So if not for anything, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia should not be allowed close to power again, because he has clearly demonstrated that he has nothing to offer. Yes, during the campaign, I heard Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said that when he is voted, he's going to help Ghanaians go to Israel. Now, this man is still telling us that our problems...
that's aside the point. Yeah, I get you.
Okay, yes. But all I'm trying to say is
okay.
that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has failed, and he should not be voted by the delegates. And for me, I'm not a delegate, but I believe that most of the delegates are going to vote for Kennedy Ohene Agyapong, because they believe he's more firm and more disciplined than any other candidate as it stands now.
Have you seen Sticka on the campaign trail?
Yeah, I've seen him on the campaign.
The dance
trail.
moves and all of that.
Yes, I see all the moves.
He's been campaigning seriously for Ken.
And then also, one thing that Ghanaians are suspecting now is that things are going to be skewed to favor Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And that is going to be a very dangerous trajectory, because this is a party that's in opposition, and this reorganization process is very crucial if they really want to come back into power. But that's what people are saying, that they are going to skew things in favor of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Well, we've seen We've seen Kennedy Agyapong already protesting over some issues. Probably, I hope it's corrected now. Be brief about it so we...
I just want to say that it's trying to put the UP Plus came about. Like, this will be a clear chance for Honorable Alan.
Oh, Alan.
Yeah, to be a clear candidate for the NPP to bring coming to the 2020.
So you feel Solo and Co shouldn't have left? It was the wrong time.
This is their time. This should have been their time.
Wow.
But if not possible for even Honorable Alan, I think Ken is a perfect candidate. Yeah, I think they shouldn't feel bad, but their time will definitely come. So let me handle.
I see. Who do you support then?
I will go in for Honorable Ken.
Ken. Okay, so is Ken, and there's Dr. Bawumia in the mix there. Yeah, yes. I'll come back to you.
Okay, yes. Thank you very much.
Be snappy about it. So.
Okay, so as governance watchers, every institution of governance is of interest to us, including a political party. So now that the NPP has its primary ahead of them, I think that they have a two-edged sword problem, kind of, because they are confronted with a continuity conversation and also a timing conversation. And as it relates to the timing bit, they are looking at what the general view and expectation of Ghanaians are. Yeah. Ghanaians are at a point where they feel we have had the Dr. Bawumia kind of leadership, that is the mild, collected, kind of diplomatic leader for too long a time. And they are unable to see the benefits that has been derived from having such a precedent. And now they are saying that presented with an opportunity that we have a pragmatic leader
is yearning for someone who's hotter,
hotter than the usual politician as we will have. They need somebody who can be able to crack the whip. And the evidence in the previous administration is quite clear.
But if you were vice president, how are you going to crack the whip then?
So what we are seeing now, for instance, let's take President John Dramani Mahama. Yes. The currency that is driving the discipline in his government today is the clear stance that he has taken, that he's not going to tolerate any indiscipline by any stretch. So if you have observed, almost everybody is trying to get him or herself in line in order that they don't find themselves.
In the case of Dr. Bawumia, he was vice president. So
that's why I'm trying to say that he has been a vice president, and we haven't seen that kind of at least conversation coming out to voice out to say that this is a position that I take on this particular matter. You can be able to say it without necessarily disrupting the party and trying to put yourself across as being at loggerheads with your party. You can just share your views, just like he did on the e-levy issue. You get it? So you can be able to at least air your views and let the Ghanaian people know your stance on discipline.
So because of that, you feel...
Yes, so I believe that is the currency position and the trump card of Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. But if it is about continuity and evidence, I think that the NPP has a higher chance winning the 2028 general elections with Dr. Bawumia than Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Because there is more questions and answers to be given about Honorable Kennedy Agyapong than Dr. Bawumia. Whatever is going to be said about Bawumia has been said already. Unlike Kennedy Agyapong. Thank you very much.
So I'll stick to you, then I come to my guest. Yeah.
So I'm undergoing a training to the party, not to any particular flag bearer. Okay, so we studied that government is too serious a business for anyone to just be in power. So if the NPP really want to come to power, what they need to do is they should take away all forms of animosity or misunderstanding between them, sit together and put their heads together and look at who is the right person to push forward at this time so that we can be able to get the power. But not just doing it for a particular person. Let's come together as a party. Who is the right person for us to project so that when we go into the election, we can be able to take power if we likely to get a position again. So that when the party that you are coming to lead, you are bringing someone who will lead the country to a better position. Let's assume currently NDC is also doing their best. Yeah. So if NPP should take the power 2028, they should have someone who can also continue from where NDC will leave it. So they shouldn't just take anyone and bring it into power. They should look between themselves and pick. So you feel
there should even be some in-camera discussions, some consensus even before the election?
Yes. I think they should do that.
I agree with you on that. I mean, they want to vote.
They should, because at the end of the day, it's the NPP that should win the power. It's not an individual. Yeah. So if they are projecting someone based on their own selfish interest, the party will lose at the end because they are going against another party. Yeah. It's not an individual.
So it's a collective thing, you're saying.
Yeah, so they should sit together and do the right thing.
Yeah, and I think your point goes to the heart of what former President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo was saying, that the NPP should be bigger than any individual. That's what the former president said at the signing of the Peace Pact. But Dr. Stephen Amoah, we've seen some images of your preferred candidate, Kennedy Agyapong, raising some little issues with the document. Has it been resolved now?
I think so. I wasn't there. Actually, I was in Kumasi. As I said, I came along. But I think they also the importance of his concern, and I'm sure to a large extent have been addressed to harmonize their interests as stakeholders. But coming back to the discussions my younger brothers are having, I think social media, we need to look at it as a country very well. Because they are making good points, and I respect their individual points. But if you look at this country today, it doesn't matter whether somebody is a professor or a student or not. Social media seems to influence decisions and comments. And I can tell them here, about 90% of what they see, they don't really contextualize what happened. So let's be very careful. I get scared, and I'm somebody, I talk to issues with pure heart and love. But people change what you say, but they think when you behave like, oh, you're cool, say you are a good person. That is never true. That is not true. If I tell you that maybe you're in public space, I don't even have friends, you don't believe me. The heart I have for people. But people may even judge me different from maybe solo here.
Yeah.
Look, people are talking about words. About 90% of things they didn't say about me this election before God is not true. They change it, they send fake news out there, and everybody is bottom board. The point is, in management, in performance, you have 3 key functions. 1, ability. 2, opportunity. 3, motivation. When it comes to ability, all the 5, each of them has its strength. And government cannot be built by one person. That's why we have cabinet and we have ministers. So you have teams. For instance, Agyapong now has about 80% of current finance and economic guys that we know. There could be more, but those we know that they are very visible.
I think within the party.
Supporting him, yes.
Yeah, within the party.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you build with a team. That's 1.
Okay.
2, Agyapong might be the best. Dr. Bawumia might be the best. Brian might be the best. But if you don't have power, and that is the second function or variable of performance. Where you are, I can't do the job. You are better than me. But with all that you are doing, if you don't have the seat, can you do it?
No.
NPP had the opportunity and did almost all the pro-poor policies. Free schools, they free that. Now, even by observation, if you like, send your own guys out there without any inducement, publicly, if you ask, some of us that have been on radio and TV for over 20 years, they know us. The pressure on us. I was with Dr. Bawumia. It's not because of money or anything that I left. I think if he's even the best among the 5 and we don't get power, what happens? So some of us, it's based on our experience. What I am today, you have to look at my interest before I talk to somebody. God has already blessed me. And it's not because of politics I'm blessed. I'm not saying I haven't gotten anything from politics. But you can't tell me that I bought my first car in 97. Maybe I was in my 20s. I was doing 16-hour job in London, cleaning, washing cars. So some people don't know where some of us have come to. But some of us have pure heart for society. Without power, it will be difficult. So we think that if you work in Agyapong's, some of his rebuttals, that if you check him, about 90% of anything they accuse him, he wasn't fighting for himself. Maybe his approach, his demeanor, his tone, his animation when he speaks, his commitment and emotions, you may misconstrue that. But anything the man ever fought was fighting for people. That's 1. 2, if you look at Agyapong, Ghana is a poor country. Economy, yes, it's important. But without sustainable jobs, sustainable industries, it will be difficult for you to develop any economy. Because in Ghana, we import almost everything. People don't have work to do. If you have somebody who, among the 5, or even among politicians in Ghana, he stands tall when it comes to creating industries, factories, jobs. It is something, it's an area we should look at. If you look at Dr. Bawumia, when it's the economy, he's good. We need to look at. But you look at beyond all these things, who today, that when you're out there, along the social stratification, all segments, people are talking about, we need Kennedy, because he's disciplinarian, he's done this. Now go to 37. He spent millions of dollars putting up cardiothoracic center. Go to Komfanochi, millions of Ghana cedis, making sure that we have oncology machine maintained, sustained to save lives. Go to Tamale Teaching Hospital. When Ghanaians were left abroad, he spent his money. He started spending doing this in the 90s. So it looks as if, as Ecclesiastes says, that there's time for everything. You may like him or not. Now, NPP's best chance, it doesn't mean when he comes, power will be on a silver platter. It doesn't mean Bawumia or Brian can never win power. I haven't said that. But you analyze the level of probability. And some of us with about 30 years experience in politics, what we know and what we have been confronted with, we think Kennedy is taller than all of them. You can be the best. If the opportunity for you to be in power is not there, all that we are doing will not go anywhere.
The question
and now the last thing I want to say, I beg you, sorry, is this issue about somebody spoke against this. I'm one person, watch me clearly. I may be wrong, but I hardly initiate attacks. Me all my life. Because I don't want to be left alone with God and deep in my heart what I did was wrong. But I also have a weakness. When you initiate something against me, these days I'm changing. And I'm replying, I'm doing multiple faults. That's my life. Look, Dr. Bawumia has he was liking me to a rabbit. Yeah. He used unprintable words that I'm intelligent. Enough, they are there, video. Because he's a very good man. He will never do that for any bad thing. But he's been misinformed. And they were comparing me to even Ami Anta, my own brother. I hadn't done anything of that sort. So sometimes, if you want to, I'm saying this with respect to what my other younger brother said. Those things you see around, people initially or generally create troubles, put in the public domain to get sympathy votes, to attack other people, to say all sorts of things because of power. But the most important thing is what this gentleman said. And the other person, we need unity, we need cohesion.
Yeah.
If we don't stop putting fake news against others in the public domain, look, when I say people laugh, there are things that are impotent. Yeah. They are saying I'm not, all these are necessary. And people also say bad things about Bamia's people too, Brian Champion's people. They are all not good. Is it that when we want power, we have Ghana at heart, NPP and DC, that when I'm left alone with my God, Sticka, is it that we were passions and my boy mine? Okay. And now to me, and there's a Kentia. This is where the problem is.
Do you feel that you've suffered so much just because of your decision to go out for Ken?
I really don't care, but I fear for Ghana. Insulting me that they do even worse. It's a country that me, I'm a Jama boy from Opoku Aritek. Everybody knows me. I play like a child when I'm out. I'm a very disciplinarian, decent. I'm not perfect, but I work with integrity. I've been doing this for almost 20-something years. Right. I've not been called by NDC that I've stolen money. Yeah. And people know what I do for people. In my constituency, I've given over 1,000 scholarships. We've trained about 1,000 people to learn skills. I've provided tables and chairs for about 2,400 children. I've provided 14 communities out of 24 water. Go and check. Right. I kill myself for people. That is what matters. I don't care what people say. Yeah. But the danger is, for how long can we allow fake public information, TikTok, code cards, Facebooks to destroy and adulterate decision-making processes by some of these young ones to affect our own country? That is where I'm scared. By insulting me, who am I? Even Jesus, they insult. Even Dr. Bawumia himself, they insulted him. I'm not his co-equal, he's my boss. Right. Even Anadu, even Kennedy, even President Mahama. These are bigger guys than me in society. How much less me? But the point is, how can this be dealt with such that it doesn't one day break the entire society? Because misinformation is getting too much.
Okay, let me come to Solo, but probably you want to prepare and conclude on that for us. The argument that's been made that no candidate has won on their first attempt. You've heard,
but is that true?
Well,
Liman won, Busia won, even President Mahama won. And the issue we are talking about, retaining our brother, our boss, doctor, is that. Let me tell you.
You've heard the argument.
I won't go, because they use all sorts of tricks. I haven't seen, I stand to be corrected, I can't remember everything, but I haven't seen any candidate in NPP who first time reduced our vote by about 2.1 million. Moved up from 52% down to 41%. I've never seen that. And there are dynamics. When you talk, Ghana is the only country that I have seen, there could be others, but I mean those I've seen, that they can say that this is a fact, but don't say it. I get scared for our country. I will never go and sit anywhere that because somebody comes from you, vote for him. I don't even believe in tribe. There's nothing like tribe in our blood and genes. I did diploma in pharmacy, therapeutics, pharmacology. In our blood, there's no tribe. It's evolution. People live in the same area for a long time, adaptation tendencies, but in our blood, we are the same people. So I don't even believe in tribe. Right. But when you're analyzing political strategy, there are dynamics. Geographical voting. Have you thought about that? If the one you want to bring, his domain of voters, largely, not him as a problem, do not like your party. They like other party in the country. And you say, if I'm making a decision, that is not important. Because somebody will change the story and attack you. They are being troubled. My own boss, Dr. Bawumia, he was going all around saying that, because I'm a Muslim and I'm a Zongo. And he didn't say anything bad. Because he was speaking the truth. They are saying, bring me. When you bring me, they will vote for me. Unfortunately, they did not. Not that he was lying anyway, but he knew that geographically, because maybe I'm a Muslim, they also know. But Muslims do not hate Bawumia. Just that they prefer NDC. It doesn't mean all of them. but maybe about 70% by what we know. They like NDC than NPP. So if I'm making my next decision, and I love my party very well, and I'm an honest person, it's not I was with Bawumia. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? So when you make this analysis, the bad guys among us, whether from Kennedy's camp or Bawumia camp or Brian or whatever, they change the story, put in the public domain, and others will make their decision out of insult. But the point is, I'm leaving this with everyone. Okay. Some of us that we claim we love Ghana, when we are left alone with God, with our all weaknesses and mistakes, let's have the young ones who are multiplying in drug abuse on the street. Let's just have them at heart and genuinely stop this propaganda, communist inferior tactics, have good intention, and build this country. That's what I can say.
So, you just heard the gentleman say this was a beautiful opportunity for Alan to have made a statement.
Oh, that one dear. Oh, but when can they all come?
I mean, I can pardon him. He seemed not to have understood why Alan left the NPP, and rightly so. If Alan was to be born today in the same condition, I would be the first person to tell him to leave the NPP. We have never regretted leaving.
Why you will come?
The truth of the matter is that the last time, why did you tell me that the Bawumia campaign people are saying, I can't naipe?
Yeah, I can't naipe. Yeah,
all right. Yeah. If Alan Chemantin was in the NPP, I bet you that the last election, there was no way Bawumia would get 41%. The minimum would have been 46, 47. Even 41%, they are telling you I can't naipe. So with Alan's presence and him getting 47%, it would have been a catrepe. What would be the moral justification for the party to change Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, judging by what has happened in the past? Alan leaving the NPP exposed them, exposed the party that you are not who you think you are. A lot of serious minds are living. That is why you could have Professor Boati come and say that it's a fake party. Sticka sitting here, deep down, because we were all in Tescom. I went to WA in the year 2000. You went to Upper East.
You remember?
Of course, but I was. You were there when
my car got bent.
I went to Mayiri.
The way they beat some of
you understand? A lot of the guys, about 99% of the guys who are following Dr. Mahmoud, they had no clue about the NPP. So why would it cross anybody's mind to even think that Mahmoud Bawumia must be a candidate before Alan? For anybody to come and sit here and say, this would have been Alan's chance. Jesus Christ, you open me. That Mahmoud Bawumia must go and contest and fail. And after that, we will look at Alan.
But that is leadership with the... It's about the timing.
God didn't choose it.
What he means is that if Alan had not left, maybe this time...
Let me tell you. Okay. It is an afterthought. The hate... People ganged up. I saw it in 2023. I asked myself, is it the party that all of us were born into and we sacrificed our lives? We could go on a campaign. You get to a constituency. All the people that will come and meet Alan, none of them is a delegate. Yeah. The constituency executives, they will tell you that they are going to Funwa. They can't be. They will pass back and call, look, we want to be here. Our woe betides you to be here. You are sacked. Look, we got to Offenso. It was raining. The people that came, they said, look, we are not there. It was so bad. The hatred. It wasn't normal politics. It was that hatred. So if I'm in an organization and you hate me to the core, I'll be a fool to continuously stay in that.
So you advise Alan never to return?
In fact, I will never. If he wants to, by me sitting here, what I've seen with this...
Or even if Kennedy comes, he won't come.
Because the point is that Kennedy will be rigged, and I'm coming to the peace part.
Just land on that quickly so we can wrap up.
I'm landing because even your time is up. The reason why this peace part was signed is to rig this election for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Oh, how?
You have not voted. You are telling me, do you know the conditions that they have set out in the peace pact? They say no matter what happens, you have to accept. Hey, we are going into an election. So we went and voted. Because I have signed a peace pact, if I know that at Okakwe South, I got 30,000 or 700, and they gave me 0. They are saying, shut up. You have signed a peace pact. You must accept it. Is that how you build a political party? Where from this?
Oh, but that's on paper.
And that
it binds you. It's a product. It's not a raw material.
I'm coming.
Just to support
it binds you from 2026 to 2028.
Right.
It is only a way of rigging this election for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. But the effect
but that's not true.
After 31st.
No, and I disagree with you.
Bring me and Sticka here.
Yes.
On this same matter. And you will see that we'll be singing
Kennedy has said,
on the day.
Don't worry yourself.
On the day,
check what will happen.
Well, your time is up. Don't let me believe it. But
stop that.
On the day of the elections,
look, it will be a totally different ball game altogether.
So Bawumia will win.
But Kennedy, no.
Oh, I am telling you.
Where I support my brother here, just a minute, is that one thing about I say Africans and even Ghanaians. I've traveled to so many different countries, study cultural behaviors. Right. Honestly, this part of our world, the youth, please. This part of our world, we like doing the wrong thing and expecting the right results. Peace is not a raw material. It's a product.
Right.
It's a product of what?
All right.
Fairness, justice, processes that benefit everyone.
All right.
So you cannot just say,
thank you so much.
I'll force peace into...
And I get it. And that's Dr. and that's Dr. Stephen Amoah for you. He says Ken will win. And we wait for next weekend to see what they